Niamh Charles, thank you for joining us. First of all, how are you feeling? How's training been? How's the camp?
Camp's good, yeah. I think we're a lot more pleased after the game the other day. So yeah, feeling positive, but still really, really focused on a big game on Sunday. And I think in the in-between right now, it's focusing on recovery and then doing as much as possible to get ready for Sunday.
In terms of that feeling in camp compared to after the France game, I imagine it feels a lot different.
Yeah, I think we were also very aware after the France game not to get too, swing too much with the emotions. So I think we stayed consistent and we sort of looked at the practical things that we could fix. So we didn't get too sort of caught up in that. And again, we're not getting too caught up the other side of it. But I think we're definitely more pleased with the performance we put out the other day. I don't even know what the days are. But yeah, we know that was more us and pleased with sort of what we'd worked on. And hopefully we can build again then on Sunday.
In terms of the difference in performance, for me, one of the biggest things was the energy. It was so consistent and so high throughout the 90 minutes. And I spoke to Serena after the game and I said, is that something that was spoke about from like staff to players? And she sort of mentioned not particularly. It was more about the game plan. So I would just wonder, as players, was the energy of that game at France mentioned to obviously increase it against the Netherlands?
I think, I would echo what Serena said. We really focused on the game plan and sort of how each and every person had a role to play and sort of. But I think the energy came from feeding off each other when other people were sort of executing their game plan and their role really, really well. That brings energy to the team. And yeah, I think you could see that from the very first minute, sort of the front-footedness of the team. It comes from the game plan, but it also comes from, when you see your other teammates doing it, it sort of gives you that buzz of energy and the crowd as well. And I think, we were very focused that day and it was a better energy output, I think.
Yeah, I interviewed Jess Carter after the game as well. She played very well, I thought, and just saw what she put on Instagram about you and Esme Morgan. So I just wonder sort of what that relationship's like. Are you three quite close in camp and what she meant by sort of you sticking by her side?
Yeah, I think that was a nice moment. It's such a nice moment that we just shared on the pitch, and then obviously see a picture afterwards that you don't realise it was captured. But yeah, I think it's really nice that us as defenders, like you sort of, I don't know, in your little units after the game, you do sort of discuss things and sort of get around each other and like try and help each other at half time and things like that. And it's a nice moment after the game to sort of go up and appreciate like how well she played. She was an absolute rock at the back. And I think, me and Ez, it was just really a really nice moment to sort of be like, Jess, you really like locked that down and for it to be captured. And I think that's what this team is about. It's getting around whoever steps on the pitch is getting around them and sort of helping them in any way, shape or form and then recognising when they do so well like Jess did.
And I just wonder, how do you cope as a team? And obviously it changes, but you're saying you've got that relationship with the other defenders, but then you're almost competing for the same place. So how do you sort of switch that on to be competitive and want to get in the 11, but also being a good teammate?
I think that's something we're all used to from clubs as well. I think it's nothing new when we come here. We have it at clubs as well. And I think that's definitely the mindset, is you want to compete as much as possible, because whoever steps on that pitch then is going to be best prepared. And I think that's definitely our mindset, as we push each other as much as possible. Even in the game, in the trainings leading up to the game, you want to give them as much challenges as possible, so that then they're ready when they get onto the pitch. And then I think we all think when we go on, we are representing England if you've got the shirt on. And you do your role to the best of your ability. And ultimately, if the team wins, everyone wins. And I think, to share that with Jess was really, really special. And I think we all know that we push her in training and then she goes and produces a performance like that, which is credit to her.
And in terms of that performance, I think obviously, I know you guys sort of ignore social media within camp, but obviously she was under a lot of pressure from Cascarino, but wasn't just on her. Maybe the rest of the team didn't protect her enough. So I just wonder how important that was for her and her confidence to then have the performance like she did. And she mentioned after the game she likes playing at centre half as well.
Yeah, I think Jess she's like, what I admire most about her is that she's spot on with what she knows she's really, really good at, and her detail of the game afterwards. And I really enjoyed speaking to her after the game against France and like sort of discussing things that like the tactical side of the game. And I think she's so good at knowing how to defend, knowing what she's really, really good at. And I think she brings those strengths to that game. So it was really nice to see that. I think as a team, we didn't sort of execute the game plan to the best of our ability against France, but then to see a top professional, that's what we expected, to sort of put it to one side and then go and produce that. I think that's credit to Jess and credit to the whole team that it was one game and it doesn't sort of reflect the player that she is, and she was able to put in on a masterclass like that.
And focusing on you, obviously coming off the bench at, in both games and actually at right back against Netherlands. So that's obviously a bit of a departure normally from your left back role that you play for England. So how did that feel?
Yeah, I think wherever I'm put on, I'm happy to go on. And I think, thankfully, I am comfortable both sides. So during the game, I sort of do watch both. And then if I get to go on, I'm sort of have watched both. So it's not just like, I've just been watching the left side. So yeah, it's nice to play in either position. And I do enjoy both sides, to be honest.
To be fair, I will mention Tash Dowie had you back in commentary because Adrian mentioned about, sort of being on the right-hand side, and Tash Dowie was like, no, she's definitely both-footed. So, obviously Tash knows you well. But, in terms of now looking forward, what you expect for Wales, for me personally, you might, have come something different in your analysis, but probably very different from France and Netherlands, whereas they wanted to, I think, go up against you. I think Wales, maybe we might see something a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to expect that, but in no matter what team a team puts out, I think we know that they've got to this point for a reason. Obviously, the history between the two teams as well. I think it's going to be a really, really special game for the fans and for the players. And look, we know that. Was it Wednesday night? Was it Wednesday?
I've lost track as well. Wednesday, yeah.
The Netherlands game. It was a real step in the right direction and positive about that. But I think we're very, very aware that we have to stay massively focused because nothing is given now, and all eyes will be on Sunday. And Wales, the pride and the passion that they play with, and they're very good at what they do. So yeah, it might be a slightly different sort of game plan, sort of different game, but equally just as hard, and we have to be really, really at it to sort of earn the right to sort of play.
And lastly, a little bit of fun. I've worn my basketball jersey personally for you because you are the basketball queen in camp at the moment, I see on socials.
Yeah, I'm so happy it was caught on camera. And a few of the I don't know whether you saw Esme's TikTok with all the trick shots. Yeah, I did actually do a terrible trick shot, and she said, Niamh, you're going to have to go do that again. So she sent me up to the road because my other one was atrocious, so I'm glad she got that one.
And just obviously the fun that you have in camp, there's basketball, there's darts, is it as competitive as it is out on the training field as well?
So for some people, yes, for some people, no. I'm the type of person that I can't play it to just enjoy it. I want to win at it, but it is a nice little switch off, and yeah, if I do manage to put that bit aside, then it is just a bit of fun and a bit of, you're pretty terrible at the games, and you realize it's quite humbling, but it's a nice little switch off from the intensity of football.
So you're only not competitive if you're not very good at the game, basically.
No, but I still want to play. We play this game on game day, a little card game called Ligretto, and I am terrible at it, but it's the one game that I'm the worst at it, but it just gives me, we all enjoy playing it.
Brilliant. Well, Niamh, good luck for Sunday, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.